I've got the remote wired up to the Buddy L project. Sorry I haven't had a whole lot of updates on this as I've been pretty busy with a lot going on. So it's for the most part, a stock Traxxas Latrax rally car. I'm using the Latrax Teton 12mm hexes that I just spent the little extra money and got the aluminum ones and put a bearing kit on this. Then just use some spare Tamiya MO3 Mini Cooper wheels to keep the scale correct. While I was getting everything mounted down, just drilling a few holes at a time and just getting some spacers throughout the whole thing. So I currently have the grill on this thing, not a whole lot to it. I'm going to eventually drill out these headlights and snap in Tonka semi-clear ones with an actual mesh pattern to them so I can put LEDs behind, and same with the grill, which somewhere around here I have a picture of, or not picture, the actual like rear taillights. So these are actually translucent, so hold on a second. There you go. You get the point. I can actually have some light pass through these things, so I'll have these wired up to just light up with the back. And other than a few small things of just cutting more to make sure it can steer without bottoming out, and just a few little like snags and so forth, I'll just cut to pulling the screws to remove this whole body. You guys can see what's going on. That is with the body removed. All it is there's some tabs that align itself really well in the back, and then there were two rivets that went up here that I'm just going to replace. Hold on a second. There we go. I'm going to replace with just some screws and a nylock nut. I just have some tip screw hardware to hold everything together, but it turned out really clean how everything's going with this RC. I haven't had a whole lot of time to clean up down here, so things are starting to get a bit of a mess. So here we go. I cut off just with a little hacksaw. I didn't have my Dremel with me at the time, and cut off the bumper mount for the front end, and then just drilled some through holes through these screws here to pass all the way through the frame, and then start mounting the front bulkhead down. Then I played around with, there's like plenty of adjustment on these that I was able to shift the A-arm up higher to help clear over the actual ridge that this Buddy L frame has to help reinforce everything, meanwhile shuffling the knuckle and such down to get more ride height. So pretty cool little adjustments this thing's got, and just stock bearings and so forth. Use some random HPI parts actually to help locate let's see if we can zoom in on that, to help space out where the original chassis would have been compared to where I've got the Buddy L bulkheads, or sorry, the Traxxas bulkheads mounted on the frame itself. And going from there, just a random, there we go, a ECX crawler of some kind of battery like compartment. I just cut it way down and drilled a few holes and got it mounted, and it's looking pretty good. About the biggest issue right now is a matter of I need to cut the drive shaft and lengthen it. I'm just going to cut it right in the middle and then pin it with a little brass sleeve to make it longer. There's that option, or I find a similar like millimeter size axle or stub shaft and mill a flat spot on it, and then put a brass or bronze sleeve over it to make it the correct size for the bearings that actually carry it. So little stuff like that. Stock servo, pretty much just drilled two holes, mounted it down, and lengthened the little steering rod a little bit, and it was ready to go. The back end, a little bit more work. It was just harder to get everything aligned and then start drilling all the same holes and getting everything mounted down to be solid. But this has honestly been a really easy build so far, and I might end up building a few more using this platform due to how simple it's been to work with. So without wasting any more of your time, let's get this turned on. And I think it's a button over here. Yep. Okay. So there we go. And so technically this could drive right now. It's a matter of I don't have enough cut out of the way so I can actually steer much, and my rear drive shaft will lock up because it doesn't have a bearing support. But you guys get the point. Anyhow, I'll see you guys next time.